If you're from Texas, it'll hold one barrel. That'll be your fault for getting too long of a hose. In fact, even the dog was impressed. Welcome to Keeper of the Mountain. Today, I get to do the kind of review on a product that I really like. And that's one that I do after I've owned something for a while. Take, for example, this Coleman NXT200. This is a barbecue that I've had for 7 years. You can still get them. They're still making them. They're around $285. But the big question is it worth buying? Well, I've got several things I like about this, a couple things I don't like. So let's start with the features that made me want to buy this in the first place. The first thing I wanted to do was get a grill with a cast iron grate, because man, I tell you, those ones that are covered with that black porcelain like stuff, oh, that stuff in about a year it just starts coming off and getting in your food and falls apart. Junk. Okay, so I thought I'll get one with cast iron, and it was Coleman, a name brand, so I thought quality's got to be there. Okay, this particular grill, I've been pretty happy with it in the 7 years I've owned it. The chrome is kind of rusted a little bit on the front, and the back, as you can see, is kind of burned out, but this cast iron grill is in perfect shape. There's nothing wrong with that grill. It's seen a lot of cooking. The burners are just now, after 7 years, starting to burn out. Overall, I really like this. I got it because of the cast iron grill and the fact that it's portable, it's on wheels, I can take it anywhere I want. This whole thing folds up. These legs fold up and it goes away, and there's latches that hold it shut like this. And they still work after 7 years. This has been a very hardy grill, and I have not babied it. So what are the things I don't like about it? The big negative on this thing is the fuel source. Right here, right down here, you're supposed to screw on one of those little bottles, one of those little green bottles of propane. Well, that's not enough propane to cook hot dogs, let alone a steak. And they ice up because they're using it so much faster than it can supply it. So that's a big negative on this. So what did I do? Almost immediately I had a hose made that screws in here, and then this screws into a bottle. You can see that screws right into a bottle, reverse threads. And I'm using this guy right here. That is plenty of propane to cook whatever I want. And so, you know, some of the portability of it is limited because you got to lug around a big tank, but it actually works then. Now the igniter quit. All right, I don't care. I have a barbecue lighter. I light it with that anyway. I've never seen one of these lighters last more than a season. Maybe two. If somebody's got a 7-8-year-old grill out there and their original igniter is still working, they don't use their grill because they're just not tough enough to deal with that. They just foul. They get burned out. It's a consumable part. It's the way it works. The other thing I really don't like about it is, coupled with what I did like about it that made me buy it in the first place, is the portability of it. These legs fold up and they fit in this little hook right here, but when you're dragging it around, that has a tendency to come out and the whole thing collapses on the ground. But then it wheels like a hand truck. So it's really, you just got to be careful because there's nothing to keep it in place other than gravity. And it would be nice if there was some kind of clip to hold it in place. Other than that, this has been a fantastic grill, but it is 7 years old. It's getting a little long in the tooth. So I'm not getting rid of it. I'm retiring it to my to the homestead, out to the campsite that's 300 miles away that I only get to a couple times a year, and I'm still going to use this bad boy because it still works and it's going to be fine. So is it worth $285 to buy one of these? Personally, I think so. It's one of those situations of, buy once, cry once, I think it's called. $285 for a small grill that can handle, eight burgers very, very easily. 6 or 8 steaks, depending on how big your steaks are. If you're from Texas, it'll hold 1. And, as long as you don't get too big of a cow, because then it'll hang off the ends. But regardless, you can feed a family of 4 on this, no problem. Another good thing about the NXT200 is that my cast iron griddle was set right on here, and I could cook hash browns and eggs and whatever I wanted to on here, and I didn't have to bring an extra cooktop. Worked really great during large functions to become a multi-purpose grill. In fact, even the dog was impressed. Time to get down to the brass tacks. Yes, time to get down to where the rubber meets the road, push comes to shove, where the Amazon reaches the ocean. Wonder how much they paid to name that river. Is this grill worth the money that you're going to pay for it? Now keep in mind, this is in the $300 range, somewhere between $275 and $395, whatever, depending on the accessories that come with it, who's selling it, shipping costs, all that jazz. So we're going to start out with what I always start out with, the nostalgia factor. Is this nostalgic? Well, it kind of, sort of harkens to a streamlined theory from back in the 50s, but not really, but kinda. So I'm going to give it about a 2 on the nostalgia front. Otherwise, it's just what it is. It's not overly nostalgic. I didn't bring anything back to me. Let's just put it that way. Is this a cool grill? In a lot of ways it is. It's cool in that it's portable, it's handy, it's different looking, and so in that sense it's cool. It's going to get some attention because it's different. It's not your basic box that you get in the, at the hardware store when you go and buy yourself a grill off the shelf. I mean, yes, this is among it, but it's a little different, so it's kind of cool that way. Is it modern? Yes, in the sense that it has all the modern features. It's got an igniter that'll work for about the first year, then you'll have to replace parts because they do burn out if that's important to you. Other than that, it has all the modern things that you want. It's got the thermometer, it's got the nice lid, the cast iron grill. It works well. How about ease of use? Absolutely. Very easy to use. The only difficulties I had in using it was transporting it while it's in the upright position like this. The legs have a tendency to come unlatched and the whole thing wants to fall. And the little bucket that goes underneath to catch the mud, the ooze, the fat, the drippings, all that is really kind of useless. Other than that, yeah, it's pretty good. What about the overall quality? Well, this one is 7 years old. There's a little bit of rust on the handle. Top is coming a little bit apart, and one of the burners has a little spot that's burned out on it. For 7 years of hard use, I think that's pretty darn good. Most grills only last a couple seasons at the most. Often the cheaper ones only last a year. At this price point, at the $300 price point, to get 7 years out of a grill is unheard of. So I'm going to have to give the quality on this, all things considered, a 5. Next, does it live up to its claims? Well, here is right off of the website. It says, bring some intense heat along on your next picnic, tailgate, or backyard barbecue with the Coleman XT grill. With 20,000 BTUs of cooking power and 321 square inches of cooking space, enough room for up to 18 burgers. Okay, there's my first problem right there. Now, if you've watched my other videos, you know that these claims that all of these barbecue people seem to make are based on burgers the size of sliders. But if you're making actual human-sized hamburgers like I make, and I'm sure you make as well, you're not getting 18 of them on this grill. In fact, there's not many grills you will get 18 on. You're going to get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 max and still be able to flip them over. Now, if you're really good at arranging stuff, you might get a little more than that on there, but not much. So they always seem to overshoot that in every grill in all the claims. So that's nothing unusual. You can easily grill, cook, or fry up meals for your entire crew. This is true. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, the mix and match cooktops allow you to switch easily between stove, grill, or griddle on either side. Griddle and stovetop sold separately. Instant start ignition technology makes matchless lighting quick and easy with just the push of a button. That is true until it burns out. You'll know when the grill reaches perfect temperature with an easy-to-read top thermometer that allows you to check without lifting the lid. The porcelain-coated cast iron grills and 2 steel tables are designed for incredible performance and high-temperature cooking, while even temperature burners radiate independently controlled heat equally across the grill or griddle. Added dual heat cores also direct heat for more efficient stovetop cooking. This is absolutely true. I have used this in a variety of ways. I set my cast iron grill right on top of it. I was able to grill up food, hash browns, eggs, everything. You can also put pots on this. You can do, this is so versatile. This is one of the most versatile grills I've ever used. When the fun is done, this portable barbecue grill's lid attaches securely. The scissor leg design folds down quickly and easily, and its rugged 6-inch diameter wheels will power through any terrain. The grill is especially designed to stand up on its end for low-profile storage in tight places. The swivel design in the no-spill grease cup helps prevent messes when you're cooking, hauling, or storing the grill. This propane-powered grill fits a 16.9-ounce cylinder or a 20-pound tank with attachments, all sold separately. Then it gives the dimensions and says it's durable steel constructed for years of use. All of that is true, with the exception of the little can of the grease underneath. That swivel can is just a suggestion. It doesn't really do much, and it falls off easily, and it's messy. One of the things I really liked about this grill is that when you fold it down and you can put it in the back of your truck or in the back of a trailer, and you don't have to worry about it flying apart and chunks of it coming off on the freeway if it isn't perfectly latched down. I can't count the amount of times I've been going down the freeway and seen somebody's grill laying on the side of the road because it came out of the back of their truck or parts came off of it or whatever. This thing folds down so tight and flat that you can stack stuff on top of it. It doesn't hurt it, nothing. And this thing will travel so well. So would I recommend you buy this? Is that the key? What do I give it on an overall rating? On an overall rating, I give this a 4 because there's 3 things I don't like. And those 3 things are the little bucket underneath. I don't like the fuel source. And the third thing I didn't like was the fact there's no latches on the legs. Other than that, this is a fantastic grill. Don't get the hose any longer than 6 feet. Because if you make the hose longer than 6 feet, this is about the limit right here. All right, it will cause oil to come out of the propane, which will then plug everything up and then nothing works. And that's not the fault of the grill. That'll be your fault for getting too long of a hose. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5, and at the price point that it is, I highly recommend that you buy one and get the hose to connect it to a larger bottle. You do that, this thing will handle your needs for 5 to 10 years, no problem, and even longer if you take care of it and maintain it.